Okay, taking a bit of a step backwards here. Trying to figure out if my lousy groups are the fault of myself or the new rebated boat tail base, because it's different from the original one. So what I'm doing is I'm making some flat bases, and if my groups magically get better, well, that'll tell a tale. But if they don't, well, that'll tell another tale. Now these are much easier, obviously. There's no complex contours to make. There's a different insert in the core seating die and a different base punch for the point forming die. They're flat instead of concave. So let's see. Sorry, get a bit of lube. Basically with these you adjust the die down until they just fall out after you eject them. Takes very little strength, very little pressure to make these, because all it's doing is pushing the core in, and spreading the jacket a little bit. There's no, complex curves to make. So straightforward, really simple. Almost no lube, almost no pressure. The child could do these. And since when point forming with this setup, I won't be, finishing forming the base. It'd just be, pushing a flat base. I should be able to vary how open my tip is, basically wherever I want. I get to that point, come back and see how that goes. But yeah, been kind of stubborn about it, and figured this is one way to kind of figure out what's going on. Weed out some variables, one very big one, and see what the deal is. Alright, well, I get to point forming, I'll bring you back. See you in a bit. Alright, point forming. That's my rod hitting the bottom of the bench. Crap. A lot easier than the rebated. Coming out with here. There's a folded tip. I was gonna get a few of those every now and then, but factory seconds. Yeah, other than that, after the first, several to warm up the die a little bit, start coming out good. Too. Here's the base on these using Federals. You can actually see them with this. I'll load them up, same as I've been loading the others, and see if things tighten up. On one hand, I hope not, and on the other hand, I hope so. I'm so divided in my mind over that, but yeah, hopefully it will prove one way or the other. Was the bullet designed for the RBTs or just a inexperienced shooter? All right, well, to finish these up and clean them up and load them up. All right, I just pulled these out of the tumbler. Hadn't really bothered making very many flat bases since I started, so hopefully they'll fly good. See how they compare to the RBTs, because those, I don't know, with 55 grain anyway, haven't been spectacular in about 100 yards, or 100 meters actually, 105 yards. Federal. You can tell what these are made from. I want to see if, maybe the flat bases are better for lighter bullets. Now the RBT 77 grain, I shot my best group, so maybe I'll make some flat base big ones, just to see, Can't hurt, right? See if things need redesigning or whatever. Should be interesting. Alright, I decided to try the Blackout with flat base, compare it to the RBTs, see if things improve. The RBT maybe needs a little bit of redesign, or if it's just my crappy shooting. I'm going up a couple extra charges, 0.3 of a grain, so I'm adding 20.3, 20.6, because I just happen to have enough of the same headstamp cases, so why not? See if we run into little pressure issues or anything. So far there's been nothing. Now, the Lovex Data for FMJ and Spire Point is identical, so, everything else is the same. Almost claim everything identical. Actually, they do claim everything identical. So, yeah. I'm kind of getting down on my brass. Need to start prepping for third firing. After that, I guess I'll anneal it. That's a whole nother video. I've been weeding out some oversized primer pockets. Got a set of the ballistic tools gauges and the neck tension gauges. I got the large and small because they sell them in a kit and knock off a few bucks. So even though I'm not using large, might as well have it. And basically I've been depriming, and if it comes out a little light, slap the gauge on it, and I run into some surprises. Some of them come out easy, and the gauge says they're great. And yeah, usually it's like, it's bad, but there have been a few where the gauge says yay. So, kind of curious about that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm hoping to accomplish this weekend, depending on weather and all that garbage. If I can dig up another set of head stamps with enough to do the buffalo, I'll do that. And just see if flat base for the 55 grains works better, the same, or worse. Oh, why not? I'm wondering if the RBT works better for heavy bullets than light bullets. I don't know. Now, Corbin sells the upgrade kit for theirs. But yeah, who knows what the future brings. Holds. May bring. You know what I mean. Not enough sleep the last few days. Alright. Guess let you go with that for now, because I need to seat these, and we've all seen that before, and it's going to be the same as before. They list the same seating depth and all that, so yeah. Alright, I grabbed some twice fired Federal brass. Gonna try the Buffalo rifle with a flat base, using the same 3/10 increments as before, except I've shifted the bottom two charges up to the top. So I skipped 2, add them to the top for overmax because it still won't reach pressure problems. Well, theoretically, we'll find out with flat base. But figured roll that in there and well, we'll see what happens. Alright, later. Alright, well, I tested Blackout and Buffalo from Shooter's World with my flat base 55 grains, and they outperformed the new design of the RBT. Yeah, I'm a little frustrated. I'm thinking that the proportions of the RBT, to get them right, is a bit more of a balance than we figured, because they have been proven to be a good design, you know. So this new design just isn't cutting it. Like with the original design, Fortune Cookie was shooting consistent, 2 MOA, and with the new ones, I'm not. Of course, he's a hell of a lot better shooter than I am, but still, that's more the exception than the rule for me. But with these flat bases, I was in that zone much more better, consistently. Not always, let's say that. but more often. And I'll take that because it will. Now I did get shoot a 1.590 with the Buffalo though. Trying to remember. I forgot to write down what powder charge that was. I'll have to put it in here. Blackout shot a 1.971 and a 1.482, but that 1.482 was this group with a failed fire, so it was only a 4-shot group, and that 5th one probably would have blown it, but thought I'd clarify that. Let's see. You can see I had a failed fire, and well, this one didn't quite make it into battery. I'm not sure what happened there, but I crushed it. Not thrilled about that. Now, the flat bases also saw a jump in velocity with both powders. Let's see. Now the extreme spread and standard deviations tended to be roughly the same or a bit better, but not always. On a few occasions, the RBT did better, but for the most part, flat base did better. Now I saw a velocity increase in the Buffalo between 41 and 72 feet per second. In the Blackout, there's a bit of an anomaly there going on. Between 23 and 116 feet per second. But most of them were not quite at that extreme. The 116 was at, I think 20 grain. Let's show where these are seating. That's just flat base they're seating just barely below the neck. Yeah, I was a bit surprised. Get mixed feelings on this. It's like, one hand, hey, the flat bases, they did pretty good. On the other hand, the new RBT base isn't doing so good. even though on a 77 grain I shot my best group ever with it. So do they work better on heavy bullets? Does it need a redesign? Should I try some heavies with a flat base and see what happens? You know? I probably should, just to see, you know? But, yeah, this is it. I'm calling 100 meters because I've used a couple different apps. Of course, they all use Google Maps, so you're probably going to get the same rough distances. And it shows 105 meters, or 105 yards. I didn't think flick it over to meters like an idiot, but 105 yards is 100 meters, so there you have it. That pretty much sums that up. I don't believe I really ran into any pressure signs, come to think of it, even though well, with the Buffalo I went above, you know, published, but I'd already done that by considerably more than I just did, so, you know, we already pretty much knew there weren't going to be any problems. And the Blackout, I went up above a little bit, and, well, what'd I go to? 20.6. Well, there's one here, but it's hard to say if it was from a previous firing or not, because got this one, but that's the only one that really shows. Is that anything or not? Let's see. It's hard to say, but it's hardly anything. So if that is, then, well, that's the only one who did it that did anything, so I'm guessing that's probably from a previous firing. But all in all, since these aren't technically 223 powders, they did pretty good. For the Buffalo, I just used AA Data, a mixture of new and old for the 5744. Oh yeah, they changed it again about a week and a half ago, something like that. Oh, as of right now, the middle of August they updated their data, so it's a good thing to keep up on that. They change it every couple months or so, it just depends. Alright, well, that's all I've really got for now, so I'll leave you with that. God bless. See ya.